technical difficulties in the brain.
Yeah, this is Mercury trying to come out of station direct, right?
Right. We're stationed. What's the matter with you? Let's talk.
I'm over here. We're looking up asteroids, and I'm like, oh shit, it's 7:08. Oh my God, how is everyone? Oh my goodness, welcome to the last full moon of 2024. I, for one, can't wait till it's over, but we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. And I might be a little cranky today, so let's just disregard that.
Well, it's just the things out there that's making us cranky. It's not us.
Yeah, no. I love being here with y'all. I love being here with you and all of our beautiful souls here. Oh my God.
Right?
I love it. I look forward to it all day.
Something.
Hi, Gina's Place. Hi, Annie Bear. Hi, Sal Ross. Hi, Randy. Hi, Judy Kinman. Maria Has Perfect House is here. Hi. Oh my goodness, Bora.
Oh, Sal Rods, what's going on? That is so cool. It sounds like you are getting all kinds of stuff, downloads. What is this? I was wondering about it because it appeared before the light in the kitchen. Valerie and I were talking backstage trying to get together.
Hi, Lori.
What's all out there with the small asteroids and planets? Because, they're the buttons on my shirt. I forgot I was wearing a pullover. I didn't need to worry about it.
And she means those are the details, right? We got the planets, but the asteroids fill in the details of our chart, or fill in the details of an event chart. This is an event. Full moon, last full moon of the year in Gemini. And 12 hours later, the Mercury stations direct. So this moon is ruled by Mercury because it's Gemini. And Gemini is dual, right? We have our physical self and our higher self. And we're always trying to make this balance. But Gemini's mind just goes so fast, right? Well, there's a Gemini here with us tonight. Let's have her.
You want to know? That. Can you download that?
Yeah, it's just constant, right? I have Venus in Gemini, so I kind of feel you, but.
Okay, Sally. I'm just kind of catching up with Sally's conversation here, too.
Very cool, Sal. Yeah, see, this is the time. This is the magical month. This is where you're going to see the veils are so thin. We're going to, it's more about, does what you see confirm in your soul, in your knowing, does it confirm what you are experiencing? This is that higher spiritual self of Gemini. Think of it like that.
That's so beautifully put, because it's that Sagittarius attraction of him,
Mm-hmm.
To me, well, y'all know how I feel about oppositions. It's what you do with them. It's a conjunction at a distance. So what do you do to meet in the middle?
Right.
And if you think about it, if it's your own opposition, then you're only having this conversation with yourself, right? And for me, because my Mercury's in Gemini, and that transiting Mercury's trying to get his little tail back into Sagittarius,
it's our full moon,
or deeper into Sagittarius, right?
And but isn't this true about the entire chart? It is like, this isn't like set in stone. We have free will, and it's based on our choices on what we pursue going forward, right?
I for one think that the finger of God is something that you should pay attention to, which is a yod, right?
Yeah.
Some people don't, but it's all up to your interpretation anyway, as to what that yod is all about, what that planet means to you, what that house, what that sign, and how does it configure, and what is it created 180 degrees this way and 50 degrees this way. It's the quincunx, it's that constant adjustment to do your calling.
And they're pretty quick.
Yod is your calling.
Yeah, you'll get an inspiration with a yod because they're quick, and it's like boom, like spirits dropping downloads on us right now, light codes, right? Because we're at the sun is, well, we're probably about 24 degrees now, so we're 3-degree orb of the galactic center. That's 27 degrees Sagittarius,
Right.
and that is, I mean, that's the cosmic downloads, the light codes, this energy coming in the most magical month of the year, right? In
Yeah.
Sagittarius wants to have fun and party, and so does Gemini. They want to do all the, Geminis are more, they're not afraid to be their inner child out in public. They do not care. They don't care what anyone thinks. They're going to enjoy themselves. They're going to do them, right? And, a lot of people have a hard time with that. But you'll see Sagittarius and Gemini. Now they're across on the wheel. So they're very like light and airy and want to go and just let's just be, no pressure. And this is really the message for this full moon. Yes, we are releasing a whole year of some crappy stuff. And actually more than that, but let's just stick with this year.
Mm-hmm.
And as we come into this full moon to release that, I would just use this full moon as a release thing.
Mm-hmm.
Write it out, burn it, rip it up, give yourself a little ceremony, do something that, in fact, Diana and I are going to do something to help us release whatever it is we want to finally let go of, right, this year. And then just be. There's no clarity coming in till probably February, really.
Yeah.
I mean, we're always getting that guidance. We're always getting those downloads, those light codes, right? And being aligned and guided onto our path. But it's subtle right now. It's subtle. They want you to enjoy yourself. Enjoy what's left of this month. And then we have that black moon coming up. And have you figured anything out about that black moon yet? Me either. I don't know.
No, because the show I did last night was, I mean, that was a big rabbit hole, and it took me forever to figure out how to maneuver just to bring together the things that I shared last night.
Yeah.
So on the 28th, or right now it's supposed to be on the 28th, we're going to do part 2, which is where I'll be able to take all of that information and compare it with what's going on now and what is going on till 2028, because that's the end of a 4-year term, and that is the Uranus return on the Battle of the Bulge and the death of FDR and Hitler and Mussolini, and how this can all come together. But I had to go down all of those other rabbit holes first, like comparing their birth chart to their death chart as individuals, and what was going on nationwide, and which planet in which house was representing Japan. Well, that was Neptune. That was conjunct the Sibley chart. Okay, so I had to compare all of that. I had to get the Sibley chart and get the stuff on the Sibley chart to see where Japan would fall. And Japan is an island surrounded by water. And what did it drop bombs on but an island surrounded by waters? So there's your Neptune conjunct our Neptune, right? And then Germany was Mars, and Sedna is Mussolini, and Italy.
So what Diana's talking about, I didn't watch the show, just in all fairness, and I don't know about anybody else, but Uranus is going to come into its, I think it's the 6th. Is it the 6th return from the Sibley chart, from America's birth chart?
Oh,
4th.
That part I haven't dived into. It's probably the 4th, because
it's 84 times. Yeah, 84 times.
Because it's the first one from Uranus. It's 84 years for Uranus return. First one from 1945. So happens in 2028.
2028. So we're going, as we all know. Okay, this to me, okay, as we get through the end of this year, and this is crunch time, right? This is like, let it go, lighten your load, because we have a lot of work to do going 25, 26, 27, 28. But let's stick 25, 26, because I don't like to get too far ahead. And the only reason I say that is because so much is going on astrologically. So much, and there's so many variables, and there's all this free will, right? We don't really have the answers, and I think we all are sitting there kind of waiting in bated breath. In fact, the song so Diana, they wanted her to sing, was Anticipation. I was coming to backstage, and I'm like, go ahead.
Anticipation.
You don't want to hear me sing.
It's bringing me down.
But at the same time, right? We all know we're at this significant point in time where something's about to flip the shit out of all of it, and whatever way it goes, it's going to go. And I'm still with the belief that there's no way he's going to be inaugurated,
Right.
But a lot of people, everybody's getting different stuff because the energy's changing so quick. Do I have my doubts and say, oh, hell, either way, my guides told me like this, either way, whatever the outcome, and it could be just more than two things, really, get good with it, get good with change, so here we are. We know we're in significant change. We know for us to navigate these energies the best we can, we have to release what is holding us down.
Okay.
These are these deep societal programming,
Here's the yod that is about partnerships, because the release point of this yod is Juno in Scorpio at 14 degrees. And then the base of that is Xena Warrior at 27 degrees. And then on the other leg of the journey, you have the vertex, that spiritual moment, the closing of doors and the opening of others. So now picking your friends, who, picking your partnerships, whether it's business or spiritual or individual, private, personal, and now we're looking at the country. Who is picking what? And then on the opposite side of that, we have Uranus as the release point at 24 degrees. The finger is pointing at that, and it's based in, let me find it. It's based in Vesta in Libra at 2 degrees, and down on the other side, it comes down to Vulcan at 19 degrees. So here we are with this other yod going, oh, it's Christmas, let's decorate. Oh, it's Christmas, let's change something up. Oh, it's Christmas, you gotta, whether it's
a Gemini, right?
The season, or just because the season changed and you need a new wardrobe in your closet.
I do, yeah. But that's Gemini, and that's Sagittarius, that festive stuff, right?
Well, yeah, that's Vesta. Yeah. It doesn't have to be the hearth of the heart inside, or your home, which is still where your heart is. So it can be figurative as well as physical.
It's deep. We have the South Node is at 2 degrees exactly.
Oh, hell. Then I just found another one. With Mars is the release point in Leo, right? Retrograde. So that one's a little cattywampus because it goes to the midheaven, and the midheaven at the time of the full moon, the exact time of the full moon, the midheaven was just a couple of degrees off of Mars.
Yep.
And so one is to Mars taking action, and at the base of that we have
but he's retrograde, so it's not like it's a quick action.
No,
Okay.
but he's got Paleothena, planning, temperance,
Exactly. Right. The
right?
wisdom. Yeah. Using that wisdom.
Patience, anticipation.
Mhm.
No, leave anticipation behind. You got to use your temperance. And then coming down from the midheaven at the time of that, it was going over to Saturn.
Mm.
Take
And
action by following the rules, which is to, you know, give it time.
right.
Let it form itself.
And the rules are even being restructured. So it's kind of, that's why we're in this, like, I think it was Judy said March, you know, I mean, it really could be March before we are. And I just
Yeah.
feel, I feel
Yeah.
this month, well, 15th now, right, to like the 1st of February, it's just tight. It's
Very
tight.
tight. It's itchy.
Yes,
It's
scratch, like you
itchy. We're
put
not
a,
used to wearing leggings.
right, right.
And so
Itchy
it's
ones.
itchy. It's extra. Everything is piling up, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But there are beautiful mystic rectangles in the sky.
yeah. They're
And we
quick too.
have it going from the south node over to Mars. This is going to be our action orientation. And then on the long sides, it's Mars down to Neptune and the north node. And from the south node, it heads down to Pluto and Ceres. So this is Pluto is now in Aquarius. What
Mm-hmm,
kind of changes are you looking for? And
mm-hmm,
Ceres is, what do you want to harvest? Well, if you go
mm-hmm.
straight up from there in that trine shape, which makes a rectangle, don't ask me more. You know what a rectangle is. When it gets up there to the south node, it's, you got to make room. So you got to let go of something. And then when you're at Mars and you're wanting to take action on what to let go of in the sextile and what it is you need to
That's
um,
really,
take action on, you've got Neptune in the north node. And not Neptune, I'm sorry, Uranus and the north node, right?
wait, Uranus in the north node. Okay, so that north node, wow. Okay, wait,
Did I
what were
say
you?
Uranus? Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. What did you mean? I'm sorry, you meant Neptune
Pluto and
and
Ceres.
Neptune in the north node because
You got Neptune in the north node because there's a few degrees between them.
they're just about
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
cross over each
Neptune
other.
is
This
at
is what I'm
28
waiting
degrees.
for, and that's on January 14th,
Ah,
15th, somewhere around there. The nodes change, right?
yeah.
So
Oh,
that's a
yeah.
that's a
15,
big deal.
14th, 15. I don't know. I don't have my cheat sheets for next year yet.
But once that north node crosses over top of Neptune, right? Neptune is spirit. Here we go. We're in a higher consciousness. We're building a higher consciousness society. Now, how long that takes, I don't know. But
But
that's
the south node at the
two.
supergalactic center, how do you
Yes.
want to materialize it?
Yep.
Which is
Yes.
Libra at 2 degrees. So now here's this really magical moment going on with that
Yes.
south node
Yes.
and
And,
how you can manifest and how things manifest just in joy during this season. Now,
yes.
not for everybody, unfortunately, but
Mm-hmm.
that's what's in the sky. How does that affect your chart?
Mm-hmm.
What do you have that falls into that rectangle somehow?
And it seems like once you decide, or the universe gives you a break, or whatever that formula is, right, that's it. I'm dropping that. All of a
Yeah.
sudden you're just showered with what you didn't even know this is what you wanted, and here you're showered with it. I talked to someone today who really just had a huge blessing from the universe, and you're like, wow, I would have never saw this coming for this person. I mean, I don't look at their chart, and I wasn't like all that wrapped up into it, but I mean, it made my Christmas just to hear how blessed they got by the universe.
It does, doesn't
Yeah,
it? I
yeah,
mean, it's just joyful.
yeah.
And we have two rectangles going like this in the sky. So
Mm,
they're interacting with each other besides having their own crisscross going on inside of their own hourglass, which is a reminder You know, take your time, be patient. Things need to form, right? The
See?
other one is the moon and Jupiter and the vertex. Those three little points are together. What's
Mm-hmm.
the vertex? The vertex
Mm.
is the spiritual moment of closing doors and opening doors.
Yep.
And
Beautiful.
that is, it's basically the same. It just changes faster through the course of the day than the nodes. The nodes linger,
Mm-hmm.
but the vertex changes by the hour. So
Mm-hmm.
it races through the day, just like the rising sign. So as that vertex goes over things, that gives you the open a door here, close the window there.
Mm-hmm.
It's how you know, if, if you live in Michigan, you play with your heat and you play with your air conditioning so
That
that it just
doing that too.
circulates and you get away with it as cheap as you can.
Nice. I mean, it is. It's like these, and it, this is a huge thing with this full moon tonight, and it does feel good flowing. I agree with you. I mean, it does. It just kind of feels like
Yeah.
exactly flow with it, right? Enjoy it. Let the magic present itself to you, but the magic can only present itself to you. Now we got a T square, right? The moon and the sun were both hitting that Neptune, who wants to kind of keep us dreamy. Stay in your imagination, but don't get delusional about things. Just kind of
Consider
let
them
it,
as choices.
yeah, just feel into it. With that, could I do
Right.
that? And as we are daydreaming and having these epiphany moments and these really cool, just kind of magical internal moments, then it's like the sparks light up. Okay, there's sparks from, I mean, Uranus really isn't even in play, but that's what it feels like to me. It's like, oh, is that what you wanted here? It's kind of given to you, and it's the season. It really is the season. But I'd say to continue that, those magical moments, right? Drop whatever it is that got to go. Like here, Annie Bear was saying what you were saying. It's just kind of all presented to her. I was moved, inspired to create a series of small changes in my daily practices. The solution seamlessly presented. I'm adjusting to more awareness. I mean, that's exactly what we're talking about here. That's exactly what's going on. And it's based on your perception of your reality. Are you allowing yourself just to flow and daydream? Or are you stressing yourself out? I don't have this. This isn't right. This isn't finished. You know, I didn't do this right. I didn't do that. And that's the biggest thing I keep hearing about this holiday season is whatever it is, it's enough. Don't we guilt trip ourselves and stuff, but those are those old societal constructs that have us trapped in this loop of
Yeah.
buy, consume. I could sit here and look at trees and lights the whole month, and do I want it? I would love to buy for everybody. Yeah, who wouldn't? But
Right. I couldn't believe I had to go to Home Depot and they had trees for sale, right? And I
tree,
don't look at real trees because
I want a
you
tree.
can't keep it up as long, and I don't like that. I like having Christmas as long as I feel like having.
Till March, I do the
But they
same thing.
wanted $75 for a scrawny tree that looks like something that should come out of a Charlie Brown movie.
I always loved the
And
Charlie
the
Brown
one
thing.
that was a few feet shorter or a few inches shorter was 71. What the heck? Are you guys bumped your head?
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
is.
you could go cut them down around here for less than that, but even at that, it was $7 for a tree if you had to pay even that when I was a kid. And
It's
on Christmas Eve, go take them off the lot. They're free.
sometimes,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, all
And
my childhood, they were all, even when Aaron was born. on Christmas Eve day, if you still don't have a tree, whatever's left is carte blanche.
And that's how it used to be, right? But now everybody wants, no, they're going to sit there and want that $70 to the end. Oh, I'll give it to you for 50. I'm not
And the
paying
thing just keeps
$50.
getting deader and deader. It's not
Yeah,
like
for
it was
something
even in a
that's
bucket with dirt.
right, that's dying, you know. And then I did that. I bought trees where you could replant them, you
Yeah.
know, and then you move, so you can't take the tree with you, or I moved them, and it's just like that kind of stuff just hits at me wrong. Hi, Autumn Moonlight. Hi, Viviani. Let's see who else is here. Hi, Linda De Gonzalez. Annie Bear. So Liz and Oz here. Hi. Let's see what she's saying here. Hope you two will learn to compare perhaps Lemurian astrology. I know. Yeah. I mean, just let me put it to you like this. Doing these charts here and this with these aspects and this stuff, it's a lot.
We're already doing it.
Yeah, you know, you just kind of always layering it on. I mean, I put hours in a day on astrology, and I know Diana does too. It's a lot of information. There's a lot of charts. There's a lot of movement, right? We got the Sibley chart. Everybody's checking that. Trump chart, the Biden chart, Kamala's chart. I mean, could go on and on and on. I know that Debbie Dement says, you know, the Lemurian astrology is the astrology of the future. And I see all the planets evolving and coming out of the old stories into their new. And there's a lot going on right now. And then nobody really has the answer, you know?
Planets, there's more depth to the galaxy. There's more things being discovered, and the stories are being updated.
Yep.
Not just through the asteroids, but also through the new planets being discovered.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just as much with each system, because Vedic astrology is not dying. Chinese astrology is not dying.
Mm-hmm.
So tropical astrology is not going to fade away either. It's finding a way to incorporate it all, like bringing in the galactic center and the super galactic center and Algol and
all the royal
Baron and Mahi and Kwawa and Pholus and Nessus, whom we've been tracking for a very long time, but we also got Sekhmet and Kwawa. And in fact, Pele Athena, Pholus, Kwawa, and Sekhmet are all hanging together. Well, with them hanging together, I think that's where a lot of our itchiness is coming from.
And that's Capricorn.
Pele's got this idea, and Pholus has got this idea, and he could be pretty cranky, you know. And then there's Sekhmet, who poked his brother's eye out. I mean, you know.
And it's all in Capricorn, right? Who's the boss? I want to be the boss. I want to make it this way. You know, but we have to allow everything to, you know, everything is cycles upon cycles upon cycles. Everything matters. I mean, we add in what numerology, astrology, psychic abilities, mediumship, Akashic records. I mean, just layer it in there. That is the universe speaking to us. What resonates with you though? What is talking to you? This talks to me, you know. I know that talks to Dinah too. And we use our psychic abilities. We use what we feel into, because they're all evolving too. So, you know, we're going with the old stories, trying to well, not trying. They're saying you're not trying to drop in that the pain, the suffering, the trauma is just constant on repeat with those old, you know, the Greek and the
where you're giving your power away.
Right.
It is now
to a god or a goddess.
Right. The new way of thinking about all of the astrologies is trying to wrap them together, but understand this is your power. You don't have to give it away. You don't have to have permission from a higher authority. you have free will. That was the first thing they said about what God said. Free will. Well, now why are you trying to take that away from me?
It's been a
So,
26,000 year thing. I'm
right.
like,
And
leave it alone.
this comes back into this other mystic rectangle that I was referring to. Okay, so the moon has moved down and the vertex has moved down, but Jupiter didn't. Jupiter is still um, in a trine to Vesta. So here we are again, expanding things at the house. I'm personally, my
Thank you.
Jupiter has Pluto sitting on it in Aquarius. So this whole thing with Jupiter, well, that's fine and dandy for me because it's Christmas, I'm decorating, but I'm also making repairs around this house and upgrading things that needed to be upgraded before I even moved in. And then, so that's on one side. Then the sextile from Jupiter goes over to Vulcan and Hygeia and the sun. And sorry, the sun and Vulcan are at the bottom, and you've got Hygeia and Chiron at the top.
Yeah.
And so all of that, Hygeia is our health, how to prevent it's winter. And if you're in a colder climate, how to prevent colds and flu. And if you're it doesn't matter where you are, we're all trying to make sure we don't get some kind of virus. Let it be.
No.
You can get the flu in the summer just as easily.
I've been
Chiron and Hygeia right next to each other. Well, that's a good thing, actually.
Yep. Because it's help, and that's going to help when Chiron goes direct 29th or 30th of the month.
Yeah, the 30th, I think.
30th. And then, I mean, that's kind of like another, and this is the last time he'll go back to, where's that, 19. He'll finally go forward. He'll finally get out of the 1920 area and start moving forward. But he will do another retrograde. Chiron's taken forever to get through Aries. My God.
Chiron is an undulating planet, and it takes him 7 years. But sometimes he only spends 2 years in a sign. And this is one of his longer egresses out from Earth. So it's taking him 7 years to get through Aries. He's still got another 2.5, 3 years left. He's not finished yet.
No, and that's kind of, I think what I'm hearing, what I'm being guided is this full moon, this release tonight, let it, and I know it's not easy just to let it go. I know it comes back. I could swear I let it go for 1,000 times and it's never coming back. And out of nowhere it comes back and slays me again. But we understand that. Okay, here it is again. Let me see what's left and release it. So that's kind of what we've been going through. But the more that we can prepare ourselves for, easing into next year, even next year, all those planets are still, the planets that are retrograde are going to start stationing direct in January. It's going to take that whole month. The nodes are going to change. It's not a fast start. It is going to be, I guess, when is that? February, when the Chinese zodiac changes, it's going to go into the year of the snake. Right? So there's kind of there you go faster, right? That's when you start picking up some momentum.
It's the new moon that's in February. That's when we have the Chinese New Year.
Okay, then the first thing I have that one. Where is it? What was I going to say? Jesus, there's so much to say, guys. Oh my God, this is why we just go moon to moon. And let's say this next Friday. Bye, Linda. Thank you for coming and hanging out. Appreciate you. Next Friday is the winter solstice. That's going to be powerful.
There's that. Well, and it's still itchy. It's very powerful, but it is still itchy.
Yeah.
So this is where we have to rise ourselves. We begin that whole platform right now. This is a full moon. This is illuminating everything. The moon and the sun. working together in this opposition to make sure that you can see both sides of the picture, both sides of the story.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to a museum to look at fine art, there's a light that runs across the top to throw equal light across the whole canvas, so
Mm.
that you can really get into the brushstroke, really get into the color, really get into the shape, really get into the picture, really become one with the picture, no matter who the artist is.
Yeah, see, the nodes change on January 13th. I love that analogy, though. That's really, it's the truth. I mean, and the thing is, this, and to me, this is the most exciting, but it's also the most terrifying. We're realizing that we are our own power. We get to fill in the details. We get to make the rules. We get to create whatever it is we want for our new way forward in our new identity. You know, even though we are the same core person, we are stronger in a lot of ways where we're not hiding anymore, especially our community. You know, we were all, but thank God for, you know, a lot of things. Thank God for the pandemic, because here's how we found all each other. We came out to connect, right? To connect with like-minded people, and here we are, and we have been together for these last 4 or 5 years, that we now can stand in our own power and be who we are without feeling shame or feeling any derogatory feelings at all. You know, and that was a lot of the release of the last 4 years. So here we are coming into our own, creating it how we want to be, how we want to see it. And I know all of us here, hi Perrette, want to see a world where there's peace and harmony, and it's you know, everybody's, hey, you know, as long as you're not hurting anybody, and that's what you do, I'll do me, and everybody, you know, no stress off that.
So
But
I
we've
just drew
all
a
had
card.
to wait for this. I'm sorry, we've all had to wait for this 2024 election thing, right? And it kind of threw us off, and it kind of just is like, okay, I think that was a big lesson for us. Are we going to let that devastate us, or are we going to say, no matter what goes on, I'm going to thrive. I'm going to survive, and I'm going to get through this, and I'm going to do it on my terms.
That I just drew a card from the blind spot deck. Okay. Number 48, it represents scarcity. Well, it's not just scarcity of material goods, scarcity of support. We have this infinity symbol in the center, the number 8, right? We have a hook to hang on to things. We have a hook that things can fall out of, that we open our hand and let go of. We have a complete thought here in the fact that inside here we have as above, so below. And we also have it in come back here, in a diamond shape, right? We have plenty, but we don't always see it, because you see some of it is below. So this is a cup. Every symbol in the sigil has a meaning. And I should do we should do a thing on how to read a sigil.
I would love
These are
that.
much more complicated than the ones that we find in astrology. But when you see
They are.
A half circle like this is a gatherer. This is collecting the information. This is the bowl. This is the water. And then there's a little one right below it that's catching the overflow. And then it's sending it deeper into the earth. And the music goes round and round. Whoa, whoa. And it comes out here. We have to let go of something. We have to put it into the ground. We need to plant our own seeds, eternally planting our own seeds.
Right.
Where do you find scarcity? Do you have a roof over your head? Do you
I
have
think it
enough
starts
food?
in here.
Right. Right. And so where do you do things to yourself that you don't understand it is coming out of the a fear of scarcity?
Yeah, I did.
Because we have had this in the past through the depression in the 30s, having parents that grew up through that, so we went through it again after World War II, and as we were going into the bigger era, the successful era of the 50s and 60s, and now we're fearing it again, where I mean, I'm a brown paper bag hoarder, I'm not kidding. Especially if it's got a handle on it, then I really like it. But I used them
See, I'm
when
the
I
same
was in
way.
school. Well, when I was teaching, I used them for a number of things, for making Native American vests for the kids for a Thanksgiving Day, to learning how to make baskets out of them, for teaching the kids how to do that. Um, so you can make costumes out of that. But now I use it for my bird. So it's not like I'm not recycling them. But some of them are so cute, I just can't let them go.
See, I do that. I have this thing about hoarding soap. Like, I hoard all the bottles, and I'll put water in. I do it with every body soap, laundry soap, but it doesn't matter. And my kids think I'm nuts, and I'm like, I don't even know why I do it. But I really conserve my resources, and I have this. Oh, but one day I could be out of soap.
Yeah.
Thought, right?
Well, I grew up with brown paper bags being extremely important because they're
Mm-hmm.
insulation,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and back in the days of coal furnaces and you were down on coal, I lived with that. And not in my own particular house, but my grandparents. And so you would just wad it up and stick it under the bed to help keep the cold air from coming up through the floor. Because you're talking basements back in those days were just made with rubble. They're not like we have them now made with cinder block.
Right,
That
right.
was basically unheard of. It
Mm-hmm.
was stone, wattle and daub.
I mean, it's crazy because look at and this is part of our programming, though, right? Uh, I always say this lifetime we're here to release all these past lifetimes of uh, scarcity, lack, pain, trauma, all of that, right? And wow, I mean, I have really released a lot of things, but I mean, I sit here and I think, why do I do that? Why am I holding on to these, I mean, they're just about empty bottles of stuff. I put water and I shake them in there. And that's just one weird thing I do. I got a whole bunch of them. But, you know, but I do honor my resources. I do honor,
Yeah.
I don't want to over, put just trash everywhere. And, I'm really conscious about my trash use and how much, just everything. And I think that's what's coming up for us. Like, how do we navigate in this world? Okay, because here we are. Everything's IT, AI, right? Everything is fast and furious and moving. And I mean, you really have to stop looking at the devices to step away, go meditate, go inside, take the time, you know, and it's a different world than where we originated from, right? So it's so much change is happening, and just think of our little grandkids, right? They think all this is normal. Where we're here,
I know. I
and
bet
it is to them.
I got a treadle sewing machine that still works. Now I might need to have a new drive belt, but I've got all the parts. I've got all the feet. I can fix your leather coat
Oh,
when
nice.
all the electricity runs out,
Yeah.
because I still have a functioning treadle sewing machine. And to make a new
What
belt,
kind?
I just, huh?
What kind of sewing machine? I'm sorry.
Treadle. You pump
Oh,
it with your
really?
feet. Yeah. It's a singer. It was my grandmother's.
Wow. Wow. And
I
see,
I learned how to sew on that thing.
and okay, and here comes that's another really good point. The art of making things by hand that are of
Function.
yeah, well, not only are they functional, but I mean, it's. I was watching something about architecture and how they always put geometry all throughout the houses. Like that was really important to them, and that geometry helps your energy bodies stay charged up, right? And here we just got plain walls, depending what we put on them. But I mean, the architecture,
Yeah, give me those cove ceilings and
yes, I love that stuff, and just that having the
I blame
craftsmanship.
Frank Lloyd Wright for that. He went from Art Deco to Waterfall House, which
Art
was
Deco,
extremely beautiful. Don't
it
get me
is
wrong.
beautiful.
We've got a couple of them in the Upper Peninsula, but it is too modern for my liking. I wouldn't want to live in it.
And Art Deco, my goodness, can you imagine the cost of doing that now? That's it. That all that craftsmanship is like just, everything's made in China. It's only
Yeah.
lasts. I mean, I'm talking like door handles, weird things. Only
The
lasts you a
the
year,
beauty.
you know?
I have a collection of doorknobs
See,
and brass plates.
I love those.
I mean, and the ones that are ceramic, the ones that are and they're so heavy, they're cast
Mm-hmm.
iron besides. The
Mm-hmm.
ones that are made out of crystal, the handles are crystal. This is not
Yeah,
glass, this is crystal. And
crystal.
then the porcelain ones, and then I've got two or three of them that match the brass plate that was behind the door handle. That are brass.
Just all of it. And I kept like I'd say the last few days, because it's really been coming in where, put your energy into things like that really matter to you. In this case, craftsmanship. And I'm not a crafty person, right? I only got to sit down and really be who I am when the pandemic started. Before that, I was a bartender who never stopped moving, you know? And it was just like, I wanted to do all this. I was really into it on my off time, which what little of that I had. But to come in and see how far we've came, this is another thing. Look how far you came in the last 4 years, and give yourself, honor that journey. Give yourself a hug, give yourself a pat on the back. It has not been easy. Now we get to choose, how do we want to create the world going forward in this next 2025. Let's just stick there, because there's
Well,
still so many variables up in the air that
sure.
in the
This is
external
where
world.
finding the yods that are within your own birth chart are important, and your mystic rectangles,
Right.
and your grand trines, and your T squares, because T squares are talent squares.
Mm-hmm.
It takes there. In fact, there's a T squares show up in the charts of just about everybody who's ever made it famous.
Mm.
And because that takes talent, they made it famous. Now, I'm not saying you could just be famous in your neighborhood. That's enough. That's enough.
Right.
But it's rising to all those challenges and figuring out. It's a cunning, right? But cunning isn't necessarily a bad word. It's gotten a bad connotation over the years. But cunning can make sure that you have enough potatoes in your pot.
See, there we go again. I'm the same way. I gotta have like certain things here, or I don't feel there's that underlying safety security thing, right? And whatever me having extra soap does it for me. Whatever does it for you does it for you.
Right.
But we're navigating this high tech world now, where everything seems disposable and everything's just so fast and furious.
See, and that's what I can't handle that. I got an orb floating around here. This is thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
I can't. I came from people who took both ends off of a can and squashed it flat to make it easier because it was going to be recycled. That was the normal thing to do in the 50s, the way I grew up.
Mm-hmm. And those were
No?
real metal cans. Those are real metal.
Right. It was a real tin can.
And there, and that's another thing, right? We go back. Let's go to the food. How the food is so. It's not really food. You
Not
have
food.
to stay out. You have to stay in the veggie aisle or the meat aisle or the outer aisles just to get real food in you, and
Yeah.
really understand where your food comes from. Right. I think this is going to be a big thing with that Uranus Taurus.
Yes, because Taurus is body beautiful, right? And Taurus is about good things and sweet things and satin sheets and chocolate and all the finer things. Taurus is ruled by Venus and it's fixed sign, right? And when Venus is there in a fixed sign and the fixed house, the second fixed house of Taurus, it's like I gotta have this. This is part of what makes me comfortable. Right. And Taurus, think of how muscular a bull or a cow is. The lines of their body, the lines of their muscles
sturdy.
Sturdy and beautiful, solid, and
they are gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh, the shape is. I guess I'm looking at it from an artist's perspective, but think about it. Doctors would look at it. Anybody who studies the skeletal structure or the muscle structure would get that same ooh about it. Looking at the muscles on a horse.
Beautiful. Yeah, I watch a lot of little horse
maintain 33 miles an hour for 5 hours without having to rest. That's the Pony Express. That's how that operated.
It's and it's kind of like we're weaving, right? It's like the oh my God, what's that called? The web of weird. Everything's always weaving and weaving.
Yeah,
right? Everything's
it's
coming.
the hypnotic eye. Oh, I had that in a dream the other night, and no, I'm sorry, it was in Terry's meditation. Was it Thursday morning or Friday morning? One of those 2 days, and my eyes were closed because I was in the meditation, but I had never gotten sick to my stomach like that before. And this was just in the meditation. And it was a black and white checkerboard with that hypnotic eye going like this and spinning around. And I had to open my eyes. But as I opened them, she just ended the meditation.
And isn't that something that, like, because we're talking about all the things of the past that we want to go forward, as we're releasing those things that are, they're just not sustainable, they're not real, and how do we bring that into this new world? It's so strange. Even I look at my children and they don't understand what you're talking about, of the cans and the paper bags and the things that we had to do when we were younger. They don't understand a world like that.
See, that's where my kids got lucky because I was doing it. It was the normal thing to do.
Well, I grew up, now I'm being called out. Mom, why do you have 20 bottles of soap in here?
Oh. No, my kids they like their Legos. They like their Star Wars toys. Yeah. So they never called me out for anything on that.
No, they don't either. I mean, this is just been recently. Yeah. My son's like, Mom, I mean, really? And I'm like, you just never know.
And I don't know. Teasing you than anything.
But I like what Annie said here. Annie, yes, the last 10 days have, man, like the last 2 days really lightened up for me. But man, I was being I was in that cosmic washing machine getting just thrown out.
Well, it's not like the sun hasn't been active. Yesterday, it threw out such a big glob. You know,
it's always sunny here, so
well,
usually
I'm lucky. It wasn't today, but
wasn't.
it did rain. But it was a cold rain because it was like 37 degrees.
Yeah, no, I've been sick since September. I don't even want to go out there in the rain.
And Leah, you're making me hungry for pizza. Detroit pizza
What?
square because
Ooh.
you use old pans from the car factory.
Yep. Oh, wow. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, remember those old pants, man? I used to work in a pizza shop. That was my first job at 11. Hi, Allie.
Yes, Leah, that's what I heard too.
Yeah, funny habits makes us unique, doesn't it?
Yeah,
And
that's
what's
right.
this?
We are all unique.
Mm-hmm.
We're a
17th.
unique. We're a
Yeah,
unique.
17th, something's about to pop off. I keep getting 17th all the time. I'm not sure what, but.
Well, all them drones are telling me to beam me up, Scotty.
Pickle
I don't
and
believe
pineapple
they're just
pizza.
drones. There's
All right.
two, I just wish that the truth would come out.
I think it's mostly I think it is both. I think it's ETs and it's our government. I think they're investigating something intense. Oh, a quilter. Nice, Allie. She's a quilter. That's beautiful work. See, that's like, craftsmanship. There we go.
Electro date. Oh, okay. Boom chakalaka.
You're hooked, Randy, on the pickled pineapple pizza? Really?
Ooh.
I'm a pickle. I love dill pickles. God, I live on them.
Well,
Pineapple.
put Kalamata olives in brine on anything.
Yeah, I love those. I love those.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm going to put horseradish and some in the potato soup I made for when I heat up a bowl later on.
it's true, Leah. Shark isn't evil. That nothing is. I don't think anything that's made from spirit is evil. But I do think there's a lot here that is evil that has no spirit in it on this dimension. But that is why we are raising in frequency and ascending too. That's my belief on it, and my guidance. What's this? I remember washing the clothes in the tubs. Yep, and hanging them up. And
yeah, my mother, when she was pregnant with me, she won a television, the first television.
Me too.
Okay, when she was pregnant with my brother Douglas, she won an electric sewing machine, which wasn't common because the treadle was still around and people were still using their treadles. And when she was pregnant with my baby brother Greg, who was born in 57 or 58, she won the first electric dryer.
Oh, wow.
So she won a new appliance with each one of us.
Aww.
She went on to be on the Michigan Lottery show. She won a lot of money.
My mom was
lost
lucky
a lot of
that
money too, because that's
Yeah.
how that stuff works,
Yeah, and then I know well, the bookies and all that was a big thing growing up. The bookies always.
Nancy Pelosi broke her hip.
I heard she had a hip replacement and she fell. I don't know if she fell and broke her hip or if she needed a hip replacement just medically. I love this. What Annie Bear says. I should add that the last 10 days were tough because I'm stubborn as an ox. Me too. That's my sign in Chinese astrology.
Me
really
too.
Hard.
I'm an ox. Which, an ox is what? An ox is Taurus. So in Vedic astrology, I'm a Taurus also. So you see, Annie, they all really work together.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
Right. They really do.
Yeah, I'm hard-headed sometimes. I'm trying to lighten up and be more. It's just been it's been a hard year. Let's face it. We thought the three before it were hard, but this is why this release tonight is a good. I mean, take your
So
time. Really let it all out somewhere. Write it out, scream it out, talk it out. It's Mercury. So a lot of communication. Type it, whatever you got to do to get it out of your physical body, out of your cells,
go
and get.
outside and have a primal.
Mm, I wish
Go
I could
howl like
scream.
the coyotes and
I
the
wish
wolves.
I could.
Oh, oh!
Alice is an ox too. Cool, Alice. Wow.
Allie Leland. Alice Long, how are you? I know who you are.
Where am I? Where am I?
I'm getting tongue tied.
I know. Well, that's a Mercury full moon for you.
Yeah, right? Mercury's trying to go directed. It's still in that shifting gears stage.
Trying to keep the clutch
Yeah,
in.
right? Keep the clutch in while he's rolling downhill.
Yeah. But it's in
And holding up the
Sagittarius.
Harley, at the same time.
Right?
On a
But
hill. On a turn on a hill. And
but,
oops, I'm going down. I'm
and
going
that's exactly it.
down. I'm
It's in
going down.
Sagittarius. So he's having fun. They're just having fun doing all this. They don't care how hard it is. It's just like,
Right.
when you used to be a kid and they're showing me when you used to, oh man, I used to love this sledding down the slopes, when it used to snow. It doesn't snow
Yeah.
anymore in anywhere in where I live. But man, just be out there for hours and hours and hours, just sliding. It was so much fun,
Yep. Never got cold. I could
But
be soaking wet and it didn't matter. I was
yeah,
out there having fun.
I know. I never.
When we were young like that, we're as impervious as a bird is to the weather.
Yeah,
They don't
no.
care if it rains. They don't care if it's cold. If they are migratory, they're going to migrate on, and they'll fly for hours. Look at the goose. Look at the Canada goose, and the way they fly, or the snow goose, and the way they fly across the ocean for hours to get to their destination. Totally impervious.
I get
Taking turns in that V shape, being the leader to be the foiler into the cold breeze while the rest of them take it easier. Or the way penguins work, the male penguin in a rookery. They are out here on the fringe and they start wiggling their way in to get to the center where all the warmth is, and all the dads in the center are holding those eggs on their feet. Now, when it's their turn to start moving to the outer edges, they have to transfer that egg to another penguin's feet. And they can't drop it because they got no hands. There's no opposing thumbs there. They can't pick it up and put it back on their toes. That egg is going to die. It's not going to be able to bring forth a baby penguin. And this happens during the time that the females go and get all the krill for the babies that are about to hatch. They fill their crops up to the point where it's out to here and then swim all the way back. They walk 500 miles and then walk another 500 miles back with a full crop.
I don't have that much. I'm not that determined to be here. That's right now. I don't have
But this is what I'm saying. This is cooperation. This is working together for the end result that is going to do us all good. This is Uranus at its finest. This is Aquarius at its finest.
Yeah.
And even if you don't make it, there's sorrow. They feel bad that this didn't work, that an egg was lost or that a penguin lost its life.
Oh my God, yeah.
Bears grieve. They cry tears.
I've seen dogs cry. I mean,
I know.
it's we all have a soul and feelings. Yeah. Sauron's mom went a bicycle.
That's cool.
Guessing
That
how
is cool.
far it would travel. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Well, do you want to do a little release ceremony?
Sure. What shall we do? What shall we do?
Let's see. Well, we both burned some stuff.
Yep. I didn't. I was doing sweetgrass. Last year's sweetgrass, anybody who's got that from me, it should burn for you really good now because it's a little over a year old.
Oh, cool, cool. I have mine waiting.
But don't forget that you have to open the braids so that it can smolder
mm,
the way you want it to smolder. And you have to light it just like all sage. You have to light it frequently.
Yeah, be safe. And don't forget to do your release ceremony. Let's do that release
Don't
ceremony.
forget cinnamon in the front door.
And look at this. This is a really cool. Look at that geometry. I think it's a
I
beautiful
know.
color.
I mean, even without looking at anything else, just looking at the design of it makes me feel like I'm looking at one of Nancy Jean's grids. Or one of my own that I've set up, because it is sacred geometry.
That's a good thing too. Well, see, I'm being guided to wait till after the first to redo my grids and everything. I just was like Annie Bear said, that last probably since September, I've kept hitting it just hard. It was hard. And then I get back up and here I feel a lot lighter now, but I think we all have gone through that.
Yeah.
Let me see what I got written down here just to make sure. Our imaginations are our guidance from spirit, our spirit teams. What else?
Take care of the child inside.
Yes. That's Mercury. That's Gemini. They just want to be in the authentic, to be our authentic selves is to let our inner child out to play.
It's not just because this is the magical, mystical time of the year, but also a child is filled with wonderment over everything. Remember that book, How Things Work?
Yeah.
Fantastic book.
Yeah,
I don't know if I ever read a single word in there, but just looking at all the pictures it was fantastic,
Uh-huh. It was a really good book, How Things Work. I love that thing.
Yeah.
Maintain. I do this all day long, and now this is what I'm saying. Like the 10 days that Annie Bear was talking about, it was like my focus kept going down into the gutter. It was just awful, last 2 days. Now I'm just back to my normal self and everything is just even keeled. I'm content. Everything's fine. So it was like constant, and I was getting frustrated with myself. I'm like, why do I keep thinking these crappy thoughts? It doesn't, it doesn't do any good,
Right.
And I'd look at them and I'd say, okay, I release you again in love, whatever.
But what can you do when that starts to come on? What can you do to give it its little itch and then, okay, just an itch.
Yeah.
Move on.
And
so I've been trying to get to the yoga mat twice a day for just 20 minutes of hatha, but I'm making progress and it's really helping a lot. So, and it feels good to be moving, even though I can't do everything to make it even, because, that's what yoga is about. What you do on one side, you got to do on the other. It's a yoke. It's pulling together the two oxes that are pulling the cart. But at any rate, it just feels good to be moving. So when those itches start to get in, I just get up and force myself to move because I got enough of that without thinking about it. Let me go do something. Clean something, decorate something, paint something. Wish I got to paint walls tomorrow.
So we are out of Mercury retrograde, and we can just move on. Now it won't be clear until Where's that one thing? I did have this cool thing for won't be clear till January 3rd.
I love that. Sal says little Sal rules this month. Yes, she does.
Oh,
And
little
fill
Sal.
her stockings with whatever she wants.
Oh, Sal, that's beautiful. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at things. Yeah. Let me see where this one.
Cedar.
I have this one thing. It's
Ooh, cedar. I just got some. You can get.
there we
Like,
go.
I haven't been able to go to my favorite park and cut the things that I like to go. But January 1st, I am so focused. January 1st, they open again. Hooray! I don't.
Oh,
It,
nice.
it might be too cold to walk more than 2 feet, especially for a little man. But we're going.
Yes.
We're going. That's their park, and they know it.
Oh, thank you, Annie Bear.
Oh, right, Amanda. That's cool. PBS has to show how things work. Got to kill the telescope.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait till you start showing us things out of your telescope, Sally.
I have a telescope too, but I'm in this huge apartment building area, and like there's nowhere to put it. You know.
Well, and I had a great big huge barrel that my brother had gotten me, which was fine when I was down in Virginia, but I didn't bring it. It just too much, too much. It weighed a ton. It was programmable, but I didn't have the software in order to program it. So it could just spin and turn to wherever I wanted it to look. But it was a very cool telescope.
Annie Bear, you're on a roll tonight. Yes, we
Yep.
do. I mean, it's just coming at us, and it's cool, right? Because all this stuff we've cleared, and now it's kind of like, well, now I can do whatever I want. So I'm asking because I'm not a big, I'm real serious. Like, let me do my charts. To me, that's playing, right?
Yeah.
What does your inner child want to do? Well, I don't know. I guess we're doing it, and I'm starting to wonder, like, I've been pretty, my whole life I've been pretty serious about.
Well, it's the monkey
to
brain. We all
Yeah.
got a monkey brain. And what do you do to quiet your monkey brain?
Mm-hmm. And it's the old constructs are dying off too. The societal things that we just all agreed to somewhere along the way. That's what we were taught. That we're realizing now we're really detrimental to our society. So a lot of that's going to be changing and in flux, and that's that Saturn in Pisces restructuring things, Neptune going into that higher consciousness society that I know we all have visions or dreams of it. We know that that's the way forward. We know that we don't live in that place, and we don't know how to make the two in harmony, right? Here's a full moon affirmation I had from last night. It was, I honor the lessons of this year and carry their wisdom forward. I am grateful for the journey that has brought me to this moment. I'm ready to step into a new chapter with clarity and purpose. I am one with the cycles of the moon and the rhythm of the earth.
That's awesome.
So it is. Do you want to say? You want to do a little thing, and then we'll let everybody be free?
Sure. What would you want me to say? The cleansing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. So let's do 3 breaths. Hold at the top, and then when you exhale, part your lips. Please place us in a steady stream of divine white light, the white light of divine guidance and divine grace. Michael, wrap your blue bubble of protection around us that shrinks to fit as we step into the healing teal green orb of Raphael that floats and shares and spreads and transfers. The divine white light, the white light of divine guidance and divine grace. Uriel, please come with us and ride with us on these carpeted rafts and teach us the alchemy of our craft. Gabriel, open our eyes to the omens and our ears to the messages. These are the way through all of the passages. Grandmother Moon, show us the way, be it for work or be it for play. Shine your light upon us this day. Show us the way.
Yeah.
So mote it be.
So it is. Wow, that was beautiful, Diana.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to do one card on the way out, and we love you all. And I think, are we coming back together on the solstice?
Well, I have a little bit of a dilemma.
It's okay.
Yes, we can. So you
Okay.
and I have, but we got to come earlier because that's the holding your light thing.
Oh,
Right.
Oh, it is? Oh, goodness.
Okay. And I'm probably not going to be able to do it anyway. But on the 21st, I'm supposed to be at Greenfield Village for their old-fashioned Victorian celebration, Christmas, crazy stuff, fireworks at 9 o'clock and all that.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
But yeah, I don't know if I can maintain that long down there. So this year I don't think I can make it. So anyways, we have those events coming up on the 21st on the darkest day.
It's we'll figure it out. I forgot that light. I didn't know that was on the 21st.
Right?
Yeah.
So
So
let me
that
see what I got here, and then I pulled from the Nostradamus deck. Uriel! We got the alchemist. Okay, the alchemist is in the spheres.
That's what we're doing.
It's the king of pentacles, right? But let me read what the quatrain says.
Okay.
It's a couplet, not a quatrain. Because often I find that the couplets are more poignant than the meaning of the card in its own. Let me see this little flashlight here.
I need one of those little flashlights.
It says, the holy word gives meaning to the substance. That makes heaven, earth, hidden gold of the mystic art. Create your own magic.
Create your magic, right? And that's what we're talking about. And we've
and those rectangles are going to be the same in the sky, just the degrees are going to change a little bit for solstice.
Right. Well, and look, we have a clean slate. Look how much we're ready to fill our new vessels up, and we're the ones who fill in the details,
right? And I liken this to, because I always think of Uriel as the alchemist of the four angels, right?
It's a beautiful picture.
Isn't that great? I love this deck.
What's the name of that one?
It's the Lost Tarot of Nostradamus. Oh. Now, this, of course, Nostradamus did not do a tarot deck, but he, in his writings, also sketched. And so the people that put this together used his sketches. And you could certainly see exactly what he was talking about, especially like with the tower and the kings and stuff. You knew exactly what card in the tarot deck it was about.
Right. Yeah, he was definitely magical. But he had to hide his magic.
Right. So when they found all those or got access to all of those lost papers that had been found of his, they were able to put that together with the tarot as it stands. Let's just say at the time of Pamela Coleman Smith with the Rider-Waite, 1900s, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
Damas was doing this in the 1500s when we had the French deck, you know, with hardly any pictures on it. Really nice, nice drawings, but very, very, very simple comparatively. The major arcana all had pictures.
I love looking at those old decks and when they were created and originated from. I like that, Allie. She said, I'm in perpetual motion. Lots of ideas flow through me every day. And
Yeah.
and that's it. We're the creators of our reality. And that's our spirit teams guiding us, right? When you have that inspiration flowing through you all the time, it's just so cool.
Yeah.
I got new beginnings, right? Beginnings, but nurture yourself to your new beginnings.
There you go.
Love, wisdom. So this is about that self-care, going inside, taking care of ourselves, honoring our energy.
Alchemist.
Yeah, right? If I feel like doing it and creating it and moving to do it, good. If I don't, that's good too, you know? And then I got surrendering to the journey, release control, which is, and is that a moon? Yeah, it's a big old fat moon in there.
Yeah.
And I got wise leaders. This is all of us, right? The crones.
Yes.
You are the beacon. You are a beacon for others. And see, it all come together. It's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
And we, you know, I know our community, especially, I just know that we have a significant part to play in rebuilding the new earth.
Well, that, you know, let's just think about this fact that from 1945, we're in 2028, that's the Uranus return. That's 84 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Trump was born in 46.
Mm-hmm.
So he's also working on his Uranus return.
And he's
so, what I want to draw attention to is in April of 1945, FDR died, Hitler died, and Mussolini died, all in the same month, all in the same year.
Mm. Well, that's you know, we're in times of huge change, and I don't think you know, history has been powerful. I'm not going to say it hasn't been, but this is so different. This is different than anything we've encountered before because of the closing down of the cycles. You know, that we're in that coming into that new energy, and we're the ones rebuilding it, though.
Well, because Neptune and Saturn were together in Pisces.
It has been a long, strange trip it's been.
Exactly.
I can't sing, but I will.
Right.
Let's see, make sure we got everything.
A little Grateful Dead there.
Yeah, really, really grateful. Really grateful. Let's see what else we got here. Trust your intuition. Well, I think we covered it. What do you think?
Well, I did because it's, you know, Congress is going to adjourn for the holidays.
They did. They when?
Any minute now, if they haven't already.
Interesting.
So the 18th, we have the Sun and Neptune in a square. So, you know, you're going to feel some boiling water. So that's like, watch out for the solar flares, the big glob that went off yesterday. Because that's supposed to hit on the 17th, 18th. So on the 18th, when we got the Sun squaring Neptune, watch out for some stuff coming your way. And we got Venus and Jupiter in a beautiful trine on the 19th. That's nice.
It's a powerful week.
Mm-hmm.
The next couple, I mean, to the end, I, I don't even know when
Well,
it stops for
we're
this
not,
year.
right? Sally, you will not be a Capricorn on your birthday this year. You will still be a Sagittarius, but the sun goes into Capricorn on the 21st this year. Okay. At the solstice. That happens at, the time is at,
Yeah, that's
4:20 in the morning. That's what's
4:20.
cracking me up because we had our moon this morning at 4:02 and
4:02, right?
4:20.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, interesting.
Right? And I woke up at 3:30 and could not fall back to sleep.
I have a baby kitten. I have a baby kitten.
And then on Christmas, we have Jupiter and Saturn in a square.
It has been, Kimby. Jupiter and Saturn are hitting that square on Christmas?
On the 24th. And then on Boxing Day, we have Mercury and Jupiter in opposition. But how are you talking to yourself on the day after Christmas? Are you punishing yourself because you ate too much? Or you spent too much? Or you drank too much? Sleep it off. It's Boxing Day. Don't be boxing yourself. That's the day you take the boxes to the trash.
Oh my goodness.
You put them out on the street and people come and trade what they want, right?
And see, it used to be like that. Remember? Like everybody, hey, you got some boxes? Yeah. I mean, just stuff was, and all the boxes.
It's kind of like an exchange of, I got this and I don't want it. Here it is. Come and get it. I don't want it. You can have her. She's too fat for me. Hey, that's a Polish polka. And then on the 27th, I just said that. Sorry. And then we also have Venus and Uranus in a square on the 28th. So again, that's going to be some more ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. This year is not going quietly.
And the squares are there to help us take that pause. Like, might want to wait a minute. You know, square is going to make you kind of, let me weigh the options here, and that's the best way. If you're going to push through those squares, that's where it can get, if you're going to push yourself and you're pushing yourself or trying to do too much, whatever it is, it could really hit you harder this year because of all these squares going on. I mean, we got
right, Kim. The last 2 months have been powerful. They're powerful. 444. Don't you love that? She woke up at 444. I still hadn't fallen asleep yet.
Really? You went up all night?
After 5.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know what time I got up. A baby woke me up with Spiky. Her little spikes.
Little spikes.
Little spikes. She's so cute though. She's so smart.
Cool.
Well, guys, we love you, and hopefully this is the end. This is a culmination. These last couple weeks, just remember also too that we're in this galactic center energy, in the super galactic center energy. This is very magical, high powered. I mean, this is cosmic. You're going to get downloads, light codes. You're receiving all this. Give yourself time to receive these things.
Yeah.
It's really magical. Speak it into existence. This is Mercury. Speak what it might not show up, this year. Keep speaking it into existence.
Yeah.
We got stuff coming up. We will be back. I guess we'll be together on the solstice with, what's the name of that show? I'm sorry. I don't have it perfectly in my head.
Let Your Light Shine, or Standing in Your Light, or now I'm drawing a blank. I had it a minute ago. Squirrel.
It's okay. And then we'll be back for the second new moon in December, which is also a black moon and new moon in Capricorn. So this is where we're going to boss up, really get our intentions aligned for the next year. Yep. So take these next couple of weeks and weigh in on what that means to you.
Right.
But in the meantime, we love you and we appreciate you coming and hanging out with us. Thank you so
I'm
much.
so glad we've had this time together.
Thank you for being with me, Diana. I love you.
I love you too.
We love you all very much. Guys, be safe. We'll see you soon.
You can tell Mercury is going direct, man.
Da, 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 da.